Hi, this is Leigh Ambergy, stampwithleigh.com. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Mentor, Ohio, and thank you for joining me on my video. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I'm glad you're here. If you are a returning subscriber, then I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you're here with me. What I am sharing with you today is a creative inspiration sketch. And that is a team sketch for the month of June. So what it is my team leader, Linda Bauwin, gives us each month a sketch inspiration and also a color combination for inspiration. And when we have our monthly team meeting, then everybody shares their card for the sketch and for the color. So this is the sketch that she threw out. And we are free to switch it up and change it. This is just to give you inspiration. And I have to say, her sketches and her color combination she has been providing for the team has really made me step out of my comfort zone. So this is what I came up with. I pretty much kept everything the same as the layout as far as the elements, but I did add some layers. So this in a sense is just showing one layer on your card base. I added several layers to that. And that's the great thing with a sketch, working from a sketch, is that you can take this and interpret it and make it anything you want it to be. So my card features the Nature's Symphony bundle, and I have also used, let's see, this designer series paper here is the Painted Illusions designer series paper. That was a product of the month a couple months ago, and this designer series paper does not look like that. This designer series paper is actually this, and this is from the Beach Boardwalk designer series paper. And I stamped, because when I was making this card and I'm like, oh, this looks so plainy Janey, what can I do? And I stamped those with Golden Glow. That's the new in color, and this is Lost Lagoon. And you're saying, well, why would you put Golden Glow with that? Because I knew this was Lost Lagoon. So I pulled out my color coach and I looked for the Lost Lagoon color to see what would go well with this. And there is the Golden Glow, the new in color. My card base is gray granite. Probably smoky slate would have worked also, but I wanted something that was going to be a neutral for my card base. So the card we're going to make now is pretty much going to be the same as this. I am going to just change up the greeting, and I think that's it. I think that is all I'm going to change up on this. So I have my card base, and again, it's gray granite. It's 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. I'm going to burnish with a bone folder. And if you are watching this from my YouTube channel, in the description box, there is a link that will take you to my blog, Stamp with Leigh, and it will take you to this exact post for this card, and that post will have all of the products I've used and measurements for everything. And it will also have a picture of this sketch too, in case you want to print it out or just save it and then work from there. So I'm going to do some stamping first, and it's going to be for these two little elements right here, and these were with the 1 3/4 circle punch. So I've got this stamp right here. I've got this one, and this is our new magnetic ink pad, and I'm still trying to get used to these. So I am going to take my stamp, ink it up, and I'm going to stamp off, because I really don't want it full strength on this. I just want it just a little bit of something, and I'm going to leave those empty spaces there. I kind of like that. Let's try it this way. Sometimes you don't need to fill everything up. right, so that is how I got this on here, and it actually looks like that is part of the designer series paper. And I really like that. When I was working on this, pulling all my parts together, it took me quite a bit because I couldn't figure out what I wanted for these two elements. And I wanted a masculine card. I did not want anything feminine or foo-foo-y. I wanted something masculine. So, I mean, yeah, I really had to look through my stash. What do I have? What do I want to do? That type of thing. So I have 2 circles. This is the Lost Lagoon, and this was punched out with the 1 3/4, and I just now did these the opposite way. So that's okay. I've got that paper here somewhere, and of course nothing happens the way you want it to when you try to prep ahead of time. So I punched these out with the 1 7/8 instead of the 1 3/4 circle punch. Okay, let's just start over. All right, so now I've got, good thing I didn't put my supplies away when I was done making this card. So, okay, so let's take 2 here. All right, so let's try this again. Let me make sure. Yeah, okay, that's correct. Oh man. Never a dull moment. All right, so we are going to just do this all over again on the correct size circles. There we go. I almost forgot to stamp off. I don't think it would have been too bad, but not what I would have wanted. Ah, goodness. Okay. You get this, put this back together, put that out of the way, and I'm going to attach my circles. I am going to use liquid adhesive just because this is a very small border on here, and the liquid glue will give me time to sort of wiggle this around. Something on there. Give me time to wiggle this around to get it exactly how I want it. Okay, there we go. There's one. Here's this one. Okay, so I have those. Now we are just going to layer pieces. This is for the inside of my card. So on this one, I kind of reversed it. My outside greeting is, let me get these out of the way, is I like you lots. And then for this one, I just left the inside blank for a written message or stamped message later on. This one I I stamped the I like you lots. That's going to be the inside greeting. Normally I'd use my tape runner, but right now I'm just going to use my liquid adhesive, liquid glue, because it's there. All right, now this piece of white is the white willow. That's part of the two-tone cardstock, which it's not really two-tone, but it is lighter weight. And this is a piece of Lost Lagoon two-tone cardstock. That's what this is here, two-tone Lost Lagoon, white willow, and then this is the Painted Illusions Designer Series paper. So I am using that white for the simple reason there are a lot of layers on this card. If you figure there's what, 1, 2, 3, then 4. I am using the two-tone cardstock because it is lighter, it's not as thick, and it will not add weight and bulk to my cards. I am loving the two-tone cardstock for layering. Absolutely loving it. Yeah. Wasn't quite sure about it, but then when I got some, and what I did is I wasn't sure I was going to like it, so I didn't want to order a whole pack of it, but in the catalog and online, they have an assortment. They have assortment packs in various colors, and that's what I did. I ordered an assortment pack just to get it and see it and play with it, and I loved it. All right, so let's get this on the front of my card. This is really a simple, simple card. It's not difficult to do. It does have layering. Let's see if I can get this on straight, because I think looking at that one, it wasn't straight. I think this might be maybe a little bit better. That looks straight. All right, this I'm going to put in at last because I sometimes have a tendency to do them backwards and upside down and inside out and wrong side out and everything else. All right, and so now for these, the element I used here is this die. And right here it is. I die cut that in gray granite. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim it because I don't need all of this. So I've got one piece there. So there we go. And then I'm going to take this piece here. I'm trying to figure out how I want to cut this. And I think that's how I'm going to cut that. Maybe just cut this little peek off some. Okay, there we go. So you can you can die cut your dies. You know, cut them and make them exactly what you want. And normally you would probably think I would be using my liquid adhesive for this, but I'm not. Because I'm going to end up with glue where I don't want it. Oh gosh darn it, and I wanted to stamp inside here. I'll put Post-its. I could, it wouldn't matter, but I already attached this. And it will leave an impression, but I think I'm going to put a Post-it there and see how that works. All right, so I am going to use my tape runner for this to put these leaves down because I don't want glue. I don't want glue way up here at the very tips because then it will stick. So I'm just going to use my tape runner. And this is our silicone mat. And I put some at the top and I didn't want to. This is our silicone mat that I have just cut into smaller sections. So I'm going to set this here so I can help get my placement. Do I want it to go that way? Do I want it to go this way? I think I'm going to have it go this way. All right, let's get some adhesive on this one. And what I originally wanted to do was just get my adhesive here like more in the center. And then let's place this one. It's going to go up here. I noticed when I did these before, I put them on, and then when I put them here, I didn't like how they were going. So that's why I'm doing that. I have dimensionals on the back of here to pop this up. And on this card, these are flat. I just used my adhesive, and the greeting is on dimensionals. But I wanted to pop these up on dimensionals. I wanted to see what this would look like. Okay, so I think I'm going to like the dimensionals better. You never know unless you try. So I guess if I did use dimensionals on this one, I didn't like them. I could have peeled them off, but now I got to make sure this is not going to stick out above my card base, and it looks like it is. So this is not completely attached. So let me just get this down so I know exactly where I want this. And I am sorry if my head's in the way, but I just want to make sure I don't get this off the top of my card. So that's what I was doing. Okay. All right, so why I'm going to have to do you this way. I really wanted you the other way, but that's all right. There we go. Now, for this card, I have 2 different greetings, and I used To a Great Guy. So I don't know, this is from the Everyday Arches. So do I want the Everyday Arches? That does look kind of neat, doesn't it? Or this one is from the Words of Beauty. I don't know which I want. I think I do kind of like this one. It's a little bit bigger. It's a little bit chunkier. This seems to kind of, for me, this seems to kind of get lost. Okay, so we're going to go with this one. I need some dimensionals. And I've got some pieces, parts here, so we're going to use those. And there's something else sticking onto that dimensional. I have no idea what it is, but it's behind the card, and you're not gonna, it's behind the greeting, and you're not going to see it. So is this one going to stick off? No, I think we'll be okay. All right, so we're going to put this in the front. And again, this die was used with the, who was this? Wasn't the, oh shoot, who was that used with? Oh, Lovely Arrangements. That was the Lovely Arrangements. Oh my goodness. I'm having such an issue here. So here we go. To a Great Guy, and I think I want this. That was kind of in the middle. Do I want this in the middle? Up a little bit more. I think just right there. There we go. I like that. And to finish it off, I have natural matte dots. That's what these are. So we'll use the same. I'm going to use the same thing. Maybe. Yeah, I'm going to start. I always have an issue when I just put one. It's like, okay, and then when I go to put my other ones, I like where my other ones are, but then I don't like where that single one is. And I'm like, oh, let's see, is this one of these? There we go. Now we're going to get this baby back up. I'm going to just stick that one there. All right, so let's see if I can get my greeting on the inside, since I sort of messed up on that. So this is just a little trick. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But what I'm going to do is put a post-it note right there at the bottom, kind of a mask. So if you're not aware of this, hopefully when you do something and you're like, oh, darn it, this will, you'll remember this and it'll sort of help you out. All right, so I have this little sprig, leaf, greenery, I don't know what it is. And I've lost Lagoon ink. Oh, my greetings were all stamped in Memento. So I'm inking this up, and on this one, I stamped that full strength. Oh crap, I went to move this and I guess I didn't have enough on there. I guess if I'm going to move this, I got to move the whole thing and not just my card. Okay. All right, I do need another piece of scrap paper because I do want to stamp off. I want to stamp off and see what this is going to look like. So I'm going to, well, it's still not that dark, is it? Oh, why is this not inking up good? Maybe because I'm not, maybe I do need to re-ink my ink pad. Maybe I will not stamp off. Let's see. You know what? Maybe I should just pull out my Stamp and Pierce mat. It is photopolymer after all. Maybe that's what I need to do. Yeah, I think I need to re-ink my ink pad. I think that's my problem. You know what? I think I'm going to try something else. All right. I like this. So I'm inking up, stamping off, and then like filling in the bare spots. There we go. Worked perfect. So then what do? I put a smudge on it. Oh, goodness. You can dress me up, but you can't take me anywhere. All right, so let's get this inside my card before I do something else that I don't want to. Oh, goodness. Never a dull moment, folks. Well, it's not, oh, jeez. It's not too noticeable. All right, so I'm going to put this inside, hopefully get it centered. And there we go, all done. So again, there's my original one here with my I like you lots greeting on the front. And then just my foliage. This one I changed the greeting to a great guy, and I used Everyday Arch because I just kind of thought this might be, I guess this would have still worked. Just thought there would have been too much left over, but change it up a bit. Stamped I like you lots inside, and then stamped again in the corner, but then also stamped off in the bare spots. So giving a little shadowy looking effect. So that's what I've got for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for stopping by, and make sure you check out the link that will take you over to my blog, Stamp with Leigh. Have a great day. Bye.